Hey guys, it's Kate, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. I am celebrating Halloween, so I thought it might be fun to do a couple of sample greeting cards for a Halloween theme. And I wanted to do a spider web, but I wanted to do it two different ways. So on this side, I have a piece of paper. I'm working with watercolor paper today. I'm going to do it with masking fluid, and this one I'm going to do by drawing over the finished painting, and we'll be able to compare those at the end. So I've got my masking fluid here. It's just some drawing gum. So I'm going to start by doing a spider web. So for a spider web, it's pretty simple. I'm going to start at my taped edges, and I'm going to dip into my brush and start doing the crosses for the spider web. And so you want an even number of sections. So I'm going to try to get it sort of close to the center. And make sure you have a good solid line. But it can be very thin. So I'm going to do 10 lines to make my sections. So I have 4 now. And then 5. And I meant 10 sections, not 10 lines. Sorry about that. So I am actually done. I'm just going to double check and make sure that I have full coating everywhere, and it looks like I do. So now I'm going to start on my spider web. So I'm going to dip my brush in and do little loops like this, and then make it meet each line. Okay, I've got my masking fluid on this side. So while that is drying, I'm going to start doing my little galaxy on this side. So what I'm going to do is kind of a dark background, and that way I can go over with white, which is a contrasting color. Same thing with this side. Once this dries and I rub it off, it's going to leave the original white paper shining through. So I'm going to grab my larger quill brush and wet this side of the paper very well. And I'm just going to really slap on some water. I want to give it a nice sheen, get it nice and moist. I don't want it to be puddling, but I want to make sure it soaks in, because I'm going to be dropping in some color here from my pan. Now, if you're thinking about what colors you want to use, you can really do anything you want. I'm going to go darker, but you can go lighter. You can use any colors. I am going to be using kind of a purpley blue, maybe a little red, maybe a little orange. So I'm going to be in that color region, I guess you could say. So I'm going to put my quill brush aside, or my big quill brush, and I'm going to grab my smaller one. I'm working with Marie's Masters palette today. So first I'm going to dip into my Brilliant Purple, and I'm just going to start putting it down in here. And I'm going to kind of spread it around, and I might just kind of spread it in the pan a little bit first so it just goes across the paper a little bit easier. Sometimes when you dip straight into the pan, it doesn't have a ton of spread, but you can always help it along. And so I want this to be mostly purple, and I want strong saturated colors. I'm going to go into the purple red now, so it'll be a little bit of a color shift. And this is a little bit more red. And I'm going to start dropping this one in. And I want good saturation of my colors. So I'm just going to be dipping kind of frequently, just like this. Now I might grab just a little bit of orange as a pop. We'll see how we like that. I'm going to go into my cadmium red, which is a very bright orange color. I'm going to drop a little bit of that in here. But I'm definitely sticking dark. And let me go back into this purple red and fill this out. Now, as this dries, it's going to pull in different directions, and that's fine. I want to make sure to get good color on the page, and we'll have a nice blended effect when it finishes drying. Let me grab a little bit more of that brilliant purple and really drop some of that dark color in here. And we can get some of these nice sort of high contrast areas, very dark. Okay. Now I'm going to let this dry and let this finish drying, and I'll be back and we'll do the same thing on this side. Okay, I'm back and I'm going to start on this left side. My masking fluid is dry, and so I'm going to go in with some more water to saturate this side. And this side is still drying and spreading out, but I can get this side nice and moist now and start doing the galaxy background on this side. So one thing with the masking fluid, because it is a resist, I need to be a little bit more active with my brush because it's not really going to flow past any of these lines. So I just need to make sure, see how there's that resist there? I just need to make sure that when I'm spreading out the paint with my brush, that I'm getting it where I'd like it to be. So I'm going to just be mindful that I'm getting that dark color there and getting in between all these little spaces where I want color to be. So I've got my base purple on there. I'm going to go into this purple red now and start dropping some of that in. And I can go over some of my other purple if I want to. And grab some more. And I really love this color combination. Let me drop some in here. Then I might pick up a little bit of this cad red also, just in a couple of spots. Maybe there. I'm going to grab my smaller quill and get a little bit in here, maybe just around some edges. And a little bit up here. I think that side looks pretty good too. So I'm going to let both of these dry completely. Okay, we are completely dry, and I did remove the tape, but I still have to remove my masking fluid. So I have my little residue remover tool. So I'm just going to gently rub this over my painting to pick up that latex from the paper. And it's a very quick process with this tool. These are like a couple of bucks. If that. I think you can get like big packs of them if you use them all the time. It is totally worth it to save the time from trying to rub everything off by hand. And sometimes if you get a good little lump of it going, you can even just sort of pull it up with your hands, like with your fingers. But I'm just going to go over this quickly and remove the masking fluid, and we will have our nice bright spider web in the center. Okay, I've got my masking fluid off completely, and you can see this beautiful white pop coming through. You can see the darkness of the purple in the background. What I'm going to do next is take my Posca pen. You can use white pen if you have a jelly roll. You can even paint a dark color. I wanted to use white, but any kind of color scheme will do. I would just recommend using a light color over a dark background or a dark color over a light background. So I'm going to go through and do the same thing with my Posca pen. And so if you don't have masking fluid, this is a perfectly fine way to do your spider web, and whatever you have on hand will work. I think I'll do one more here. And then it's just a matter of going through and making that web. Okay, so I've got my Posca pen done. You can do a second coat. I find that with the acrylic paint markers, sometimes it kind of soaks into the watercolor paper. It is much more opaque over acrylic paint. You can see some of that difference here. However, if you didn't have this handy to actually see the difference, this looks perfectly wonderful. You can also go by and add a second coat if you like. But I think these just need one more little thing. And while my Posca pen is drying, I'm going to start with this one. And I'm going to grab my small quill brush and get a nice load of black paint and do a little spider in my web. So I'm just going to kind of pick an area for it, and let's just say right here. So I'm going to do a small circle, and then I'm going to do a big circle just connected to it, just like that. And I'm going to rinse that brush. Now, if you have a liner brush on hand or a very small round, that is really helpful if you are doing your little spider legs. Now, spiders have 8 legs, and this is going to be just a very cute cartoony spider. So I'm going to go to that bigger circle and just make 8 little legs. Just like that. So we have our little spider there. Now I'm going to grab my other one and do a spider on that. So I'm going to get a nice little load of black paint. And same thing, I'm just going to make a smaller circle and then a bigger circle and connect them. Then I'm going to grab my liner brush here, get a decent load of that black, and do 8 little legs. And these are very easy to do. There's a little bit of drying time involved, but you can make 2 really cute little Halloween cards or just decor or anything. And these are just, I mean, I love them and they're just so easy. So I hope you enjoyed this video and you can see the difference. You can use really anything you have on hand to make a really gorgeous painting or a really cute painting or very poppy, you know, contrasty painting. Did I say painting enough? Anyway, I hope you have a wonderful Halloween. Please try this at home. It's very easy and fun and even a great project for kids. So until next time, keep creating and thank you so much for watching. Bye.